why was it that for 2 decades Pakistan didn't do anything or didn't do as much in this Jammu, Rajouri, Poonch area, but did it north of the range?
Why is the
Why
focus
this?
now
Huh,
shifting towards south of Pir Panjal?
exactly.
So firstly, I think it will be incorrect to assume that they did not. They did try. They did do something. There were times in 90s and late 90s, south of Pir Panjal was also heavily infested with terrorist activities, and a lot of operations were conducted in south of Pir Panjal at that point of time. South of Pir Panjal is a large expanse which goes around outside the lip of Pir Panjal, which is Rajouri, Kishtwar,
Which is
Poonch,
where they are doing, yeah.
which is where they are doing. So there is first is this part that firstly this is the place, the terrain is possibly one of the most difficult terrain.
It's
Till now, till few years back, they were able to articulate, do their bit. Whatever they wanted to do was in Kashmir Valley, because they had possibly a certain degree of population support and all. That has waned over a period of time because Kashmiris also have realized that they are being taken up the gumtree by this whole thing. So one is that. But more importantly, I guess the terrain south of Pir Panjal is nearly 3 times larger.
But are they
Foliage,
coming in from the IB then now?
they may come anywhere from, but they are operating, these operations are being conducted in these dense forests. The terrain is tough. The terrain precludes employment of technology. This is the place where technology gets defeated.
Why?
When you get into a cave, when you get into a fold, when you get into a thick brush or foliage or a tree cover, how much ever you fly RPV or UAVs and drones or signal communication and all, it goes bust. It can't function.
How was it successful in Kashmir? How were you successful in Kashmir and you can't be in Jammu then?
So Kashmir had got an issue of that they had population, density of population. Our middle to higher reaches are barren. They can be seen. But here, when you climb, I've seen both sides. When you climb up, it is only in the fringe in the top that is barren. But rest of the entire terrain has got folds, they got caves, which are very difficult to assess. They're hardly much of, because there's no population. Therefore, the road network infrastructure is not that much going up to in those into the
In Kishtwar.
in all these
In this
areas
entire-
in this entire region. So it is a much more difficult. The areas in Kashmir may be glaciated, may be rocky, maybe barren, maybe high altitude, super high altitude, that level. So that is a place where their survival in the winters becomes difficult. But here the heights are not that steep. They aren't that tough. The second is the type of the population density. That matters. The numbers of terrorists are not huge. They are well trained, committed. The numbers are very less. So therefore the reliance on population is that much restricted. So they need to conduct an operation, make a quick getaway. By the time the forces build up, they are into the depth of the crevasses, into caves, and they are hiding, waiting for another month or 2 months to pass to conduct an operation.
Okay, so they are not going back across the border. They are staying put after conducting the...
Obviously, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's what we are seeing from the hideouts which have been busted.
Huh.
They have.
It's not hit
packed-
and run now.
Yeah,
It's
they have
not.
packed
They're not
in lot
trying to
of-
escape the country after
no.
attacking.
No, why should they? They can't. It's not easy to come
That's
and
where I
go.
was going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's much into the depth from the IB and LC. Right? So they are hiding. They just require one committed overground worker to provide them a sack of food in which they can survive for next about 10
Isn't it
days.
harder to get an OG in this region in Jammu, Kishtwar, Rajouri, Poonch area?
Drugs, money, and radicalization can buy you anything.
Click here to watch the full episode.